Good morning, Digit fam. Adam Dowd here on a vacation-shortened week of tech and tomfoolery. Programming note, on Thursday and Friday of this week, the Digit Daily will be the Digit less than daily, as in the Digit wait till Monday, which is still catchy, but doesn't look as good on a bumper sticker or t-shirt. But we've still got a lot of tech to get through between now and then, so let's get right to it. It is June 10th, 2019, and this is your Digit Daily. E3 is going strong, living in a gamer's paradise. In fact, I would have put that into a song like I did last week, but I didn't want Coolio to yell at me. And we're kicking off the conference with Microsoft and its Project Scarlett. That's Scarlett with two T's, by the way, so don't think red, think Johannesson. Microsoft has a nearly 4-minute-long trailer describing what this next-gen console will bring. GDDR6 RAM, SSD storage, 8K capability, 120 frames per second. It's all coming holiday 2020, which they didn't say which holiday it was, so I'm personally hoping for Arbor Day. That day needs more recognition, and can I get an amen? There's also a 6-minute trailer for Halo Infinite, which is, I guess, what you go to after you run out of numbers. This trailer showed me two things. One, there's a lot about the Halo backstory that I'm completely clueless about. And two, and admittedly this is about what the trailer didn't show, and that's a single second of actual gameplay. Just storyline. Meh. Also holiday 2020. Hooray for 18-month premature announcements. We also have an Xbox Game Pass for Windows 10. It starts at an introductory price of $5 per month and goes up to $10 for the regular price. This gives you access to 100 games from over 75 developers. It's a sort of Netflix for gaming, and everything is moving into a subscription model. Hooray for progress. Finally, we get to Project xCloud, which is Microsoft's answer to Google Stadia, online game streaming from your Xbox One library. One interesting thing is apparently xCloud will be able to turn your Xbox into a streaming server so that you can stream games to other devices on your home network regardless of internet connection. That could be kind of a big deal. But what else did we have from E3? We've got a new game from George R.R. Martin, in case you missed Game of Thrones too much. We got a new Microsoft Flight Simulator, and are Flight Simulators still a thing? Because I remember flight simulating back in the 80s, and it wasn't very good back then. We also got Keanu Reeves showing off Cyberpunk 2077. He's breathtaking. There's 14 minutes of gameplay footage from Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Looks pretty cool, and there's some neat lightsaber tricks, which, when I think about it, oh yeah, why don't Jedi ever do that? Plus, there's a line from a Nine Inch Nails song in there that can't be a coincidence, so it gets a thumbs up from me. And finally, Tristan from the newsletter team is irate that Commander Keen is coming to mobile, and I have to say, I don't understand that at all. Which is to say, I'm not irate or excited, I just don't know what the hell Commander Keen is. What I can tell you is that the mobile game looks boring AF, and I will certainly not be downloading it. Not because of any stance I have on the issue, just because I don't give a crap. But there's a ton more there, so I'd suggest you head over to digit.com for the full newsletter while we head into the roundup! And since we're in a gaming mood, Android Authority takes a look at a lot of the fine print involved with Google Stadia. There's nothing particularly earth-shaking in there, except that if you want to play Stadia in 2019, you'll need to pick up the Founders Pack that we talked about last week. The Founders Pack gets you access to the games starting in November, but normal sales for the monthly subscription won't start until 2020. Also on Android Authority, the site ran a poll for the past week asking if folks were ready to jump on board the 5G train, and most of the readers answered with a resounding no. As I've often said, 5G isn't ready yet, and there's really no reason to go out and pick up a new phone just for 5G. I suppose if you need to get a new phone anyway, the Samsung Galaxy S10 5G is some damn fine hardware, but buy it for the Samsung, not for the 5G. Not yet. I'm going on vacation this week to New Orleans, Bourbon Street, maybe even a fanboat ride amongst the gators, but next year I might have loftier expectations because the International Space Station will be accepting space tourists, and boy, can't you just sense how eager real astronauts are to start welcoming rich a-holes aboard the space station that they trained for the better part of their lives to qualify for? I mean, I get it. The ISS costs money, and if some rich doofus wants to fork over $100 million for a selfie at 400 kilometers above the Earth, who am I to argue? I'll be getting my drink on 400 kilometers below them on a beach in Cancun, since there will suddenly be less rich doofuses around those parts. Electric vehicles are eerily silent when in operation, which is why in the EU they will be forced to emit a sound of at least 56 decibels when they are traveling at 20 kilometers per hour or slower. This is meant to help pedestrians who have a tendency to, step out into traffic while looking at their phones. Personally, I think that's just Darwin at work, but apparently lawmakers in the EU are a little less bitter than me. Early adopters to the Tesla Model 3 got a little bonus with their shiny new car. Software that was normally locked down in later models was unlocked in those earlier vehicles. Now Tesla is fixing that, not by unlocking the software across the board, but rather locking them down in the older cars. These features include increased range, heated seats, and an onboard music streaming service. All Tesla Model 3 cars ship with those features, but you have to pay to unlock them with software. Some are viewing this as a bait and switch, while others see it as a temporary bonus with an expiration date. I am definitely in the former camp. Not cool, Tesla. Not cool. And finally, if you're still confused AF about that time travel stuff in Avengers Endgame, and for the record, we are well past the time when I have to say spoiler alert, then Gizmodo found an interactive timeline which lays it out for you. What isn't resolved still is the whole cap on the bench plot hole at the end, but in deference to fan service, we'll let Marvel off with a warning on this one. Side note, I also read over the weekend that Tony Stark's final line to Thanos in Endgame almost included the MCU's first F-bomb. Fortunately, they decided to go another way with it, and thank goodness. So that is going to do it for today's Digit Daily. If you'd like to learn more about any of these stories, check out the links in the show notes and subscribe to our daily newsletter on Digit.com. And if you like what you heard, subscribe, leave a review, and don't forget to tell your friends about DigitDailyPod.com. Once again, I'm Adam Dowd, Dead Technology on Twitter, and we'll talk again tomorrow.